Welcome students, I am Dr. Smita Sharma and today we will be studying new chapter of MSc final class. We have been studying operational amplifier from a long time because it is included in your syllabus of paper 7th A. Now we will be studying oscillators. Now first of all, in this lecture I'll give you brief introduction of the oscillator. You must be knowing what is oscillator, but we'll discuss in just for a preview, and then we'll be discussing different types of oscillators as mentioned in your syllabus. So first of all, what is an oscillator? An oscillator is a circuit. Always it is a circuit, an electronic circuit that generates a continuously repetitive output signal. So what does oscillator do? It generates an output signal. It should be noted here, it generates a continuously repetitive output signal. So if it is producing a sine wave, then it keeps on producing a sine wave. So that is an oscillator. It produces something, it produces a particular wave. So the output signal may be AC or fluctuating DC. Here it should be noted that oscillator generates its particular output signal. That I was saying that it should be noted that oscillator is not receiving any signal. It generates the signal. So it is producing the output signal. Many other circuits can deliver the same type of output. So whatever output oscillator is given, so we suppose it is a particular oscillator is giving us a sine wave, and it is continuously giving a sine wave. This similar type of sine wave can be obtained from other devices like amplifier also. But in case of amplifier, there is an input signal. Amplifier can only give a sine wave when a sine wave is fed to it. The input wave is necessary for an amplifier. However, for an oscillator, without giving any type of signal, we can produce a new signal. So oscillator generates. So what we can say? But for these circuits, the output is an amplified or reshaped version of the input signal to the circuit. So what I was saying, that in case of oscillator, we are not providing any signal, still we are getting an output signal. In case of amplifier, we give a small input signal and we get an amplified version of output. Output signal is the amplified version of the input signal. And in some wave shaping networks, if we put in the sine wave and we get a triangular wave somewhat. So basically all the other circuits are either amplified version of the input or reshaped version of the input, but in case of oscillator, it directly produces the signal. It develops its output using only the DC power provided by the power supply. So if you think that if oscillator is producing a particular signal, then you might think that it is violation of the energy principle. So because we are getting a signal without giving any input, no. But in case of oscillator, it uses the DC power to obtain, to make a AC signal. So what is oscillator doing? Oscillator is working with the help of DC power and it is producing AC signal. So thus an oscillator can be considered as a circuit that converts DC power into an AC or fluctuating DC signal. So this is basically what oscillator means. All this can be shown by a diagram. So here see, I have shown amplifier with a box. In case of amplifier, we need an input signal, whether it is sine or any other particular wave, and when we feed in to the amplifier, we get amplified version of this wave. So this is basically an amplifier. Next we see oscillator. no input is required and still it is giving a sine wave. So the output signal delivered by oscillators are not unique. However, oscillators require no input signal to produce their output. They convert their DC input power into output signal. In the same way, we can see for a wave shaper. For a wave shaper, if we put a sine wave, we get a different type of wave in the output. But still, it needs an input signal to give an output signal, which is different from the oscillator. So for oscillator, no input, still we are getting output. So this is basically what oscillator means. Now there are different types of hundreds and hundreds of types of oscillators, and if all basic oscillator circuits are considered, there are many variations, different types of variation. But still oscillators can broadly be categorized into two types. One is the sinusoidal oscillators and other is the non-sinusoidal oscillators. By the name you can understand it. The sinusoidal oscillators are those oscillators that produce a sine wave, and non-sinusoidal oscillators are those oscillators that produce non-sinusoidal waves, that is other than sine waves they produce. It can be a triangular wave, it can be a square wave, and so on. Now in order to understand these oscillators and its working, we'll be taking one or two types of oscillators, both the types of oscillator, and we'll be studying, we'll try to understand what is the basic principle behind the oscillator. So first of all, without considering it to be a sinusoidal oscillator or non-sinusoidal oscillator, there are some general properties of an oscillator that should be that you should bear in mind. What are these general properties that each oscillator has, that we'll be discussing here. So first of all, what is necessary for an oscillator? There should be some condition for oscillation. So a sinusoidal oscillator is essentially an amplifier. Now what we are discussing, we'll be discussing first a simple sinusoidal oscillator. So what has a sinusoidal oscillator has? It is basically an amplifier in which a small amount of output signal is fed back to the input signal. So we are giving, we have an amplifier with a feedback circuit. Now this feedback should be in such a way that it helps the input to increase. The oscillator thus provides its own input as well as a usable output. So what are the first two necessary conditions for any circuit to behave as an oscillator? Is that first two conditions that are required for oscillation are: first, circuit amplify. So this means the first necessary condition for oscillation is there must be a circuit that is producing amplification. So there must either be a transistor, a tube, or an IC that can help in amplification. With the help of resistors and capacitors, suitable circuit should be there that can amplify an input signal. First and foremost condition is this. Second condition is that a portion of the output be fed back to the input. So second necessary condition is that a small amount of output should always be fed to the input. So these are the two necessary conditions for oscillation. First is the circuit should have an amplification circuit, and other, there should be a feedback circuit from output to the input circuit. For Now, other two more conditions are necessary for an oscillator to work properly. That is, for oscillation to occur and be sustained. What does this mean? For an oscillation to occur, so the output signal output signal is being produced and it is being sustained. What does sustained means? The signal retains the same form as it was formed initially. There should not be any damping in it. So for oscillation to occur and be sustained, two additional conditions must be satisfied. What is that? First, the feedback voltage must be positive. That is, it must be in phase with the original excitation voltage in the input circuit. So what does this mean? First condition is that the portion of the output that we have fed back to the input should be positive, or it should add up in the input signal. And the second condition is that the amount of energy or power fed back to the input must be sufficient to overcome the energy losses in the input circuit. And the amount of output that we fed back to the input should overcome all the losses while working overcome all the losses in the input circuit. So these are four necessary conditions that are required for a proper oscillator to work or for proper oscillation. Now for an amplifier, we can make this simple transistor oscillator circuit. Here, as we have broadly made a block diagram, here this is a transistor, and to the transistor there is an input circuit, and this is an output circuit along with the feedback circuit. So feedback circuit is providing output signal to a portion of output signal to the input signal. So this is the basic circuit of a broad circuit of a transistor oscillator. This circuit is for the tube oscillator. These are generally obsolete now. So a sine wave oscillator is an amplifier in which feedback of the correct polarity and amplitude takes place between output and input circuit. So what it is necessary? It is necessary for all sinusoidal oscillator must satisfy the above condition if they are used to work as an oscillator. As a result, any particular oscillator can be analyzed from standpoint of an input circuit, an output circuit, and a feedback circuit. So these are three main parts of an oscillator: an input circuit, an output circuit, and feedback circuit. Now by input circuit we mean the normal input and output of the amplifier, and portion that is fed back, we make a separate feedback circuit for that thing. Now positive feedback is also sometimes known as regenerative feedback because it regenerates the signal that gets decayed while going through the amplifier circuit. It is regenerated. So it is also called the positive feedback circuit. Now we'll be discussing some more types of sinusoidal oscillator. General discussion we are doing here. Sinusoidal oscillators are also called sine wave outputs because they give sine wave outputs. The output of some of the oscillator is a perfect sine wave, while others are not. There is slight distortion, but they can, for a normal laboratory purpose or practical purposes, they can be used. So see here in diagram, this sinusoidal oscillator giving perfect sine wave, but this sinusoidal oscillator is not giving so perfect sine wave, but they still can be used in practical applications or in labs. Here, one of the most important characteristics of a sine wave oscillator is the frequency of its output. What is the frequency of this wave? not only must an oscillator produce the desired frequency, but it must maintain their frequency within certain limits. So what is necessary for an oscillator? That it should give the desired frequency that we want, and it should remain sustained for a certain limits. In other words, the output frequency must not drift appreciably during operation. It should not change when we are using that oscillator. So those oscillator whose frequency varies widely is termed as unstable, and the oscillators whose frequency does not drift are called stable oscillators. Some oscillators are more stable. There it is a comparative statement. Some are more stable than other also. So here this is a stable oscillator and this is unstable oscillator. So its frequency is not stable, it is drifting, and here the frequency is stable. So this is a stable oscillator. Now oscillators, how can oscillator we make an oscillator? We said that for an oscillator there should be an amplifier circuit, and now we know for an amplifier circuit the important component is a transistor. So we can use a transistor along with other circuit components to behave as an amplifier that can be used in the oscillator. Now sinusoidal oscillators can be classified into various manners. One of the method is what type of frequency it is giving. It is giving either audio frequency, then they are called AF oscillators. If it is giving frequency in the range of radio frequency range, then they are called radio frequency oscillators. If they are giving in microwave region, then we are saying them microwave oscillators. So there are variety of ways. Other is how they function. They are local oscillators or beat frequency oscillator. That in that case also we can do the classification. But for studying purposes or for circuit analysis purposes, we discuss the circuit components that are included in the oscillator. So basically we classify oscillator on the basis of various common circuit features, and this we will use in our all study that we'll be using. So basically what I have discussed here the basic oscillator. What is an oscillator? An oscillator is an electronic circuit that produces or generates an AC signal. It should have in order to produce an AC signal, the necessary things that are required are first, the circuit should amplify. It should have a positive feedback, and the positive feedback should be able to overcome the losses that the input signal faces while going through the circuit. So these are some of the conditions that are necessary for an oscillator to produce a clean waveform. Now in this chapter we'll be discussing different types of oscillators, whether they are sinusoidal oscillator or non-sinusoidal oscillator. We'll take up one by one. But first of all, how sine waves are produced using DC wave, we'll be discussing that. And if the signal is increasing one by one, where is the input of the oscillator? How come the signal starts generating and multiplying? How does that happen? This we'll be discussing in the next class. Thank you.